In this tutorial, we're going to cover some Microsoft Excel skills. Keep in mind that the skills are also applicable to other types of spreadsheet software, such as those in the LibreOffice suite and all those found online. So to start off with, I'm going to go with creating a new workbook. So all you have to do is go to your Microsoft Excel application on your desktop and open it. And now we're going to start with a blank workbook. We're going to go new, blank workbook, and here we have it. We have a blank workbook. So what you want to do then is save it I'm going to save it under my folder, and let's name it Workbook 1. Now that we have our workbook, we're going to start with some of the information on that's presented to us. So as you can see here, this is what Microsoft Excel generally looks like depending on your version. This is similar to the layout of Microsoft Word. You have your toolbar with all your different functions and tools that you can use to work with your spreadsheet. At the bottom here, you have your sheet number. So it's important to note that if you want to work with multiple sets of data or multiple spreadsheets, you don't have to keep opening a new document every time if it's all related to the same project. All you need to do is press this button over here and create a new sheet. And you can also right click and rename the sheets. So let's go sheet A and sheet B. So what this allows you to is to store lots of more information on the same document, and you can also link information between sheets. We'll cover that later. So for now, I'm just going to close this. And so this is a set of dummy data that we're going to be using to explore some of the functions in Microsoft Excel. So basically, generally you have example here is different types of sports and the number of members in the sports club for a school or university or some kind of organization. So I'm going to go with basic functions. This is you have your, just with the normal table as we covered in the Microsoft Word tutorial, you have your columns, column 1, column 2, and then your number of rows. So these numbers over here tell you what number of row or column you're looking, or what row it is, and these letters over here tell you what column it is. So let's go with formatting the columns and the rows. So if you want to format a column, for example this, all you have to do is hover over here by the letter and then click it. And for example, you can change the color of the words and numbers in there. You can also change it back. You can also increase the font or change the font, just like on Microsoft Word. And like in Word, you also have your undo button. Start with entering cell values. So if you have a cell like this, these are your cells, so this is your table, and you can add numbers. It's quite simple. All you have to go there. Let's say we want to go with adding a heading called budget, so this would be the budget for the club. And so one of the first functions that we're going to go with is random. So random between allows you to generate random numbers between a first number that you give it and a second number that you give it. So this, just use any function in a cell. You go press equal to, then we're going to go with rand between. So usually when you type out the first few letters, it'll give you the options, and you can just go to the one you want and press tab, and it'll fill it out. So let's start. We want a random number between 100 and 500. So as you can see, it will generate a random number. So the thing about functions, you can also use them across the cells. So in order to do that, you can drag it, and now you can see it'll apply it over here. So the reason the number changed is because it's a random number. So every time you move it or change the number or add to a secondary cell, it will give you another random number. So what you can do to full random numbers for this entire column, you can go over here to this corner and it'll give you a plus sign and drag it all the way down, or all you have to do is go there and then double left click, and you see it will automatically fill it. Okay, so now we have a set of random numbers, and all we need to do is let's start doing some functions. So some of the basic functions you generally want is minimum, maximum, and minimum, maximum. Okay, since our numbers keep changing, what we're going to do, we go there, copy, then come here, and now paste as values. So once you do that, it won't paste them with the formula. So now these are not random. Well, these were the ones that they were before. Now they're just regular numbers and they won't change. So if you want to replace the values in this column with these ones, all you need to do is highlight them, press delete, and then drag and highlight all of these, then come to the side here and you'll see little 4 arrows. Click, then move across, and you see it'll move it there for you. So let's start with minimum. As I said before, all functions start with the equal to sign. So equal to, and the function in Excel for minimum is min, open brackets. And now you're going to give your range of numbers. So if you want the minimum number, which would be the smallest number in this set, in this entire column, you go here, then you're going to press shift and down arrow until you've covered all the numbers. Then and you have to hold shift this entire time, then close brackets and then press enter, and as you can see, the smallest number in here is 8. And like before, you can also apply functions by dragging horizontally. So if you want the minimum of this, all you have to do is drag across there, and as you can see, it shows you what the formula is. It's the minimum of this column, and the value is 119. So the same is done with maximum. So this will be the highest number, so it will be equal to max. So sometimes you need to put them all in caps, or sometimes you don't. It depends on the version you use. But let's make it easy, we'll just put them all in caps each time for the functions. So remember shift, then all the way down, but remember just avoid the minimum, and you close the brackets. And as you can see, the maximum, so as you can see now, the maximum number in this column is 30, drag it across, maximum number is 462. And now the average, which will be the average number of club members, will be equal to AVG, which is average. Open brackets, close brackets. So I guess in this version it's average spelled in full. So it will correct it when you want it. So just average. And then drag it across and we'll apply it to this. So because you have all these columns like this, sometimes you want to make it more readable. So one thing to do is you can change the color of different columns. So for example here, you want to take all of these and then go to here and fill them in like that. So now as you can see, it's filled them in. So now these stand out because they're highlighted in peach. So they're separate from the set of data. Another useful function is the count function, which is count. So the thing about count is you don't always have to put it there. Like if you just want a one-self count, all you have to do is go over here, shift, or just hold with your mouse, highlight all of the numbers, and you see at the bottom here, it'll give you the average, the count, and the sum of the values in that column. And the same can be done here. So, but let's say we want the value same as before. So as you can see, there should be 10 values in each column, which is right. And we want these all to be in peach. So going back to formatting rows and columns, one of the things you notice here is this average has a 0.5 and this is a 0.9. So let's say, for example, you wanted it to show 2 decimal places instead of 1. What you need to do, and you can do this for all of them, you highlight the column and then you go right click, format cells, and we go to number, and let's say if we define it as a number with 2 decimal places, so then all the numbers would have 2 decimal places. And we can do the same here, format cells, 2 decimal places. So what this does is, for example, you come here and you type the number 17, it'll automatically add 2 decimal places. Or if you add 16.5, it'll again put it as 2 decimal places. So those are generally how you format cells to how you need it to be, or however you'd like it to be. Okay, let's just go back to the word standard. Okay, so let's say you wanted to make a chart showing the number of players or number of club members in each sport. So what you want to do, it's quite simple. Just go back to home. So you go highlight the row and the column you want, the rows and the columns you want. So this would be column 1, column 2, insert, and then there's different types of charts you can go. These are the bar charts, pie diagrams, scatter diagrams, or scatter charts, and different types of charts. So usually if you're not sure what kind of chart you'd like to use, you can go to recommended charts and it would recommend the type of chart you want. So this one, it looks good as a bar chart. So you just click OK, and now you have your bar diagram. Your bar chart. So with charts, you can also change the design of it. You can go to add chart element. Once you highlight the chart, you can add axis titles. So this is primary horizontal. So that puts a title over here so that you can label that as sport code. Go back again, axis title, primary vertical. Nice. You can also remove elements. For example, you don't really need this. You can just highlight it or click on it and press delete, and it will remove it. You can also change the color by highlighting the chart, right clicking, changing the fill. For example, you want it as green, or you want it as yellow. And you'd have to change the outline, so the outline's the line, and the outline is black. And you can also change the font and style of the writing. So over here, I want to make it dark, and I want to increase the size. And there you go. You can also put format the axis, and you can add you can change the line. You can add tick marks. So tick marks just make it look better. So as you can see, you can add tick marks there. And you can also add tick marks here. You can also change the color of the tick marks. Change them to dark. That doesn't change the dark. So this fills the text. You can change the fill of the block. So if you want to change the color of the tick marks, you can just go here and do the same. But you're working with the line. And there we go. Now we have our chart. So you can also copy charts and move them to a new sheet, like we said before. Just go here and you press Control V, and now you have your sheet. So the thing about working with multiple sheets, so this was sheet 1, because we deleted the sheet before, this is sheet 2. So let's just rename this. So let's say we have a set of information here. Again, let's say we have a set of data on this sheet. So let's go here, copy this. Okay, Control V, and we'll just copy it. So sometimes you can see like this, the writing doesn't fit on the line. You can expand the column by going to this line here, which is between the column letters, and double click, and it will expand to fit the words. So let's say we wanted a different set of numbers for a different school. So of clump members school 2, and let's say we just change the numbers to 40, 60, 70. We just change the random numbers. 18, 50. Okay, so now let's say we wanted on this main sheet to have a column which displayed the total number of players of club members in each code for the district. Let's say sheet A has the school for district 1 for one school in the district, and sheet B has another school. So let's say you wanted the total number of players in each school. So we go club members and district. And so what you want to do, go equal to, and you click on this, plus, go to sheet B, that. So the same, drag it down, and it will add them all to this sheet. It's sheet B11 plus sheet B11. So it's 11, it's 8 plus 15 is 23. You can see now they all add up. So that's how you work with data between sheets.